start off by thanking you very much for taking part in this project. It means a lot to us, our school, so thank you very much for doing this. First,
Well, I appreciate you asking me. I've been interviewed several times and different things. That magazine there, somebody's always wanting to know something.
yes, sir. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it very much. We're going to start out with a couple just initiation questions. We'd first like to ask you to state your full name and place of birth.
I'm Andrew W. You need to know my middle name. I'm just initial.
All right. Just initials, fine.
Andrew W. Dunavant. And I was born in Ripley, Tennessee, on October the 14th, 1924.
Right. What was your childhood like? Did you have parents in the military? How did your parents affect your decision to enlist?
Well, of course, that was during the war, and it hits parents, you know, real hard because the child is be going to war in all foreign countries, and you don't know about what's going to take place, and then when I went in, I had no idea of what was taking place. Not like now, you know, you go be called into service, or you go in where you have some idea, you got a pretty good idea what's going on from watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're not green, so to speak,
Yes, sir.
as what you've been to face. I had no idea what I was being facing, even though my daddy was in World War I. And he was in the artillery, and of course I was in the artillery. But we never discussed the military. So I was just didn't have any idea what was going on. And then of course my mother was, I'm the only child, and of course that really hit my mother hard too.
Yes, sir. And, were you living in Ripley when you entered the service?
No, we had moved to Covington,
Okay.
and we were living well outside Mount Carmel area, but Covington was my address.
Yes, sir. All right, we're gonna now move on to some early service questions. Were you drafted or did you enlist?
I was drafted.
Okay. What training did you undertake? This can be for World War II or Korean War. What training did you have to go through?
Okay, World War II, of course I was drafted and went through basic. Went to a Camp Butler, North Carolina, outside of Durham, and went through basic training and learning how to take orders and how to march, and going through firing weapons, and then we transferred. That was on this is World War II, and we trained on 105, and then we passed the test and everything. We tried to move from there to Fort Bragg and went to big guns, 240 Ultra, and we did all our training there, and then went to Camp Kilman, New Jersey, and caught on a boat, Queen Elizabeth I, and went across to Europe, England. Well, actually, we landed in Scotland, and because that was the only place that the Queen could dock due to being so big. And then we went to England, right outside of Birmingham, Coventry, and we were there till we could get our guns in, get them all cleaned up, and then we went to South Wales for maneuvers for 2 weeks and get the guns all zeroed in and then shipped across and landed D+61 to Normandy. We had to wait because the front couldn't move before we could get our guns in. We had landed there and then went all the way from France and Holland, Belgium, Germany, and then that was got discharged, came back after the war was over, and came back, got discharged in '46, and went to work for the Guard full time, and it just wasn't paying enough money. I had a young child and married, and I went to work in Memphis and moved to Memphis and moved and left the unit here to transfer to Memphis and got the unit in Memphis was activated, and that's when we ended up in Korea. So that was in August 1950. And went back through training and for a period of time to Fort Carson, Colorado, and then we shipped over the Pacific and landed in Busan, South Korea.
What was your role in the Korean War?
Pardon?
What was your role in the Korean War?
Well, I started off in supply. I was supply sergeant of service battery. The battalion, the 196th Field Artillery Battalion, is made up of headquarters battery A, B, and C, which are the three of firing batteries. They're the ones that had the big guns. And then the service battery was just what you call a service battery. It serviced the supplies and ammunition and fuel and everything. And so I was that, the supply sergeant, and then they transferred me from supply to sergeant in charge of 3rd Ammunition Section. There were 3 ammunition sections, 1, 2, and 3, and they took care of A, B, and C firing batteries and firing section, I mean. So I had in charge of number 3, the 3rd ammo, they called it. And we, the battery commander, my section won't be different from anybody, all the other sections, so we cut a hair clipper close, drew a mustache. And the captain and the guys in the outfit need a haircut. He'd tell them, if you don't get a haircut, you're gonna get a third animal haircut. But anyway, I stayed there, and I got hurt on an ammunition run, and ended up going to Osaka General Hospital. Well, and stayed there 2 months, and then I came back, and they had given my assistant my section, so they had an opening in motor pool, motor sergeant, because he came home, got time up. He got to come home, so they put me in charge of the motor pool and all the vehicles and everything. I've got some pictures there where I was there. So I stayed there then until I got to come home on ETS, which that was the end of the enlistment time. And they sent me home. Captain tried getting me to stay over there, and I said, no, I'm going home. So anyway, that's kind of anything else, you know, just ask questions, whatever.
All right. So we've got a couple about some wartime service. What memories do you have about Korea being a little bit different from, say, Europe or the United States?
Quite different, even though weather, in one sense of the word, was worse than in Europe, but the wintertime was extremely cold. Also, Europe, 'cause during the Battle of the Bulge, the temperature was 19 below zero, and 19 inches of snow on the ground. And there was, I don't know really what the temperature was in Korea, but it got real cold. In a way, I guess you could say it was a little worse in Korea than, because Germany, we took over all the civilians moved out. We were able to get some buildings, you know, that we could stay in. During the bulge, I know I was staying on the barn, sleeping in the loft and hay, which, I mean, we was some protection there, but in Korea, well, there's no, they just don't have any houses to speak of. It's shanties and I don't. There's no weather protection in anything, and of course, what was left and wasn't any houses at all. We just slept in tents, and we had some heaters in the tents, but it was cold, and the roads and the conditions there were just nothing. The roads wasn't anything but narrow passes, and you did have, in Europe you did have a 2-lane road or something like that, but in Korea the road pass was one vehicle, and if you met anything, you couldn't get. Well, they had to put on the passes. There was a mountain over here and a river down here, and you just rocky and they had to, they had to put MPs at each end of the pass where it was so narrow to stop traffic, make it one way. And that's what happened, sent me in the hospital because somebody fouled up and didn't stop the traffic. And it was two-way traffic, and we had met some equipment and met some trucks, ammunition trucks, coming from a supply depot, to where they're going, to the front lines. And we had met some trucks, some of our own trucks, our battalion trucks, but we met, and then it was so close that I'm way familiar with the hubs on the end of the front axle sticking out, so somebody in a 300 Field Artillery Battalion truck right in front of us, and they had a load of ammunition and pulling an ammunition trailer, and that trailer caved off and pulled the truck off there. We got them out, and I wasn't driving, my driver was driving. He said, I ain't driving that truck through. So I said, well, I'll drive it, so I drove it. And I got too close and bumped the hubs and broke my arm. So I ended up in the hospital for about 2 months. But I missed some of the really rough fighting, but I got back and they put me in the motor pool, and I stayed there till I got to come home.
What kind of camaraderie and friendships did you build in Korea with your branch?
Oh, we had close, all the guys, we just like brothers. 'Cause you fought and you ate and you bathed and shaved and showered and everything right close quarters, Never did, we had some arguments, some, but normally every closeness. And even though after we got back, we used to have a monthly meeting, luncheon with different places. We'd eat this place and they'd close up or something. Anyway, the last one we had was a Chinese place on Stage Road. And of course, we've lost so many of the men that health-wise and passed away. It just got where we wasn't having about 3 or 4 of us. Right now, I go to Forever Young and Germantown Baptist Church. That's Forever Young Senior Veteran. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, our history teacher who we're doing this project under, she's very tied into Forever Young, and we'll actually be there at some of the meetings. So you probably met a couple of our classmates there too. So
probably have.
Mm-hmm. That's a great place.
Yeah, but there's 2 of us in 196 Field that go, and there's been 2 more, so actually 4 of us, but the only 2 of us right now that are regular monthly meetings. When in fact we used to have about 25, 30. I've got a picture there that's back in the 70s or 60s where we were meeting and had a big group. Just time takes its toll, and we just, not many of us left. Back the same way with World War II, we started having reunions in '66. Had one every year, different location over the country, you know, on the East Coast and West Coast, and, well, not West Coast, but west of the Mississippi. And it finally got where it just wasn't enough to justify us to try to have a reunion. And it's about, out of 500 and something in the battalion, I think it's that I know of, it's 5 of us left.
We've got one more for about the war. So going home, was it difficult? You said after your injury, you didn't get to go home. You had to go back. Was it difficult when you had to go? When you finally got the chance to go back? Did it take a while to get back to the States?
Back, oh, well, after I got out of hospital, I went back to my unit.
Okay.
And served, and still served. I don't know, 6 or 8 months, something like that. And then I left the unit. They were still over there, but my time was up, so I got to come home.
All right, we've got one final war question. How was your Korean War experience different from your World War II experience? Or I understand you did serve during the Korean War back in the States, in Tennessee, during the Vietnam War.
No.
There wasn't. No, I'm sorry. That must have been a misunderstanding. So, how was the Korean War experience different from the World War II experience?
Well, it's altogether different. In one sense of the word, I guess. There's a different size of the guns and the difference in the operation as far as territory, well, I don't know how to put it. Well, the difference in the size of the gun had a lot to do with the operation. And Korea, the people in Korea, you didn't know whether they were Chinese, North Korean, or South Korean. They all, to me, they all look alike. And I guess they could tell that whether, but they all have the same features. So really, you didn't know whether John Doe over here was an enemy or a friend. In the same way over here. And Germans. there's a difference in the territory too. Now, we going back to Germany. Well, everybody was, the Germans and everything, the civilians and all, they were wherever they could get out of the territory. So you knew just about without a shadow of a doubt, if you saw a German, you knew he was, you didn't see any men really, but that they wasn't the enemy.
Yes, sir.
In Korea, you saw one, you didn't know whether they were enemy or not, so you still saw more civilians in Korea than you did like in Germany. Of course, all the military in Korea, they were all doped up, and you're fighting Korea, North Koreans, and South and Chinese too, and they had, I don't know, it's just altogether different operation.
Sir, now we've gotten through all the questions, so we're gonna be a great time if you've got some stuff to show us, maybe some pictures of that.
Yeah.
If you'd like to take a look at that, we'd love to see it. Maybe you expand on some of the pictures, like meaning behind the picture, who's in the picture, where, and all that. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. So here, I'll grab those.
Do you want me to sign anywhere?
Oh, we'll just get that. We'll do that after the interview.
Oh, okay. Now that's a picture of the group that was drafted
All right, I'm gonna hold
in
this
1943, and
up real quick.
that's me right there.
All right,
I was 18 years old.
so this was in Memphis or Covington?
In Covington.
Covington.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I look like.
All right. Very sharp.
That was in 1943 before I went overseas to Europe. Made right where I live right now.
Oh, awesome.
That's a picture of me in Korea working on one of the trucks. Another picture of it there. That's the driver of that truck that I was working on right there. Last name was Lemke. Yep, my throat getting dry.
Yes, sir. You need some water? We can grab some water.
Yeah.
Need some water?
Yeah, please. That's a picture of a deer they killed over in Korea. They hung him up. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's another picture of that that's one of the guys from, that's in 196, and he's still living, he meets at 12 Young meeting. There's some information now on that unfolded, if you want to, World War II Battle of Bull. There's some more that goes with that. There's playing ball out in Korea. This is some of my World War II unit here, but that's some guys playing ball. This is a bridge down built across the river, pillbox, and that's 155. That's not our gun, but just this is some terrain in Korea. You can probably see a road through there.
The one-lane roads.
And that's a gun firing there. And I've got another picture somewhere. That's how hilly. That's how you want. There's some more pictures of out here at the museum. That's a parade. I used to march them until I got so short of breath I had to quit. This is a appreciation of the VFW. Right. National Guard deployed to Korea, 1951. I'll leave that for later. DAV. That's, I don't know, you might want to. National World War II Museum certificate. That's a group from every young at the memorial in D.C. That's a half-travel museum. There's a group from the battalion, the Korean unit. See how many in that group? It's dwindled down to about 4 of us. There's a World War II memorial. There's another. There's some veterans group of Veterans Day. That's another. I think that's the entrance to the D.C. Memorial. This is World War II truck. Deuce and a half. It was in the parade, Veterans Day parade. Same. Some of my family. That's a group from just meeting up here. There's 4 generations. Me, my son, grandson, and great-grandson. There's another museum. There's a cemetery. This is the price of freedom. There's 4,048 stars there, and each star represents 100 veterans. That's 100 veterans per star that died in service. There's a plaque. Look, there's a Battle of the Boys Memorial there. I don't have many. I think I've got one in Korea somewhere. Well, Well, thought I had a. That's a picture, not one of our guns, but it was 196 gun was that was a gun. That's a 155 howitzer. That gun is on a display in Fayetteville, Tennessee. That is a shows of a burst of a round that's been fired, and the enemy and this is a picture of all 6 guns. There was two guns to a battery, and there's 3 battery A, B, C, and they were all fired together at a this is an award that this is the United States Field Artillery Association had on Veteran Day 2011 at Crestview School here. They program after the parade. They always have a program. And this is Honorable Order of St. Barbara. St. Barbara has something to do with field artillery. But then this is was presented to me at the banquet they had.
Back to you. I want to be careful with that. I just wanted to be careful with that.
Any questions?
I think
Any more questions?
I think we're all wrapped up. Again, we'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview. Means a ton to us. It was so fun. We enjoyed it, and just thank you very much.
That's the program of the that they had at St. Barbara.
Oh, I'll show that real quick.
If any questions, I'll be glad to answer them if I can. And I've enjoyed it. I appreciate the opportunity to share my experiences, and I enjoy doing it.
Yes, sir. Us too. Thank you so much. Thank you for your service. We had a great time, and I hope you did too.
And I hope I get you everything you need to know.
Sir, it was fantastic, and we know more now. So.